We do it every day. Go to the store, buy meat, produce, prepackaged foods. But do you know where any of it comes from? Have you ever been to the factories, the slaughter floors? Have you ever seen how that beef jerky you're eating was made? The protein in your protein shake? Did you know that the majority of the entire world's food and drink supply is controlled by as many companies as you have fingers? 10 companies control the food supply for the entire world. Every drink, every meat, every vegetable, every TV dinner and chicken nugget. How can you know what you're eating? The FDA. The FDA is there to do it for you, right? 275,000 facilities are under the watchful eye of the FDA. Case closed, right? How many facilities do you think the FDA does routine or unannounced inspections on per month? 100? How about 1,000? 15. They average 15 inspections a month. That's it. But enough exposition. If you've stuck with me this long, consider yourself lucky, because what I'm about to tell you will keep you from ever visiting a grocery store again. I work for the FDA. I used to anyways. 5 years working for the government, keeping the food that you eat safe. At least, that's what I thought I was doing. Routine. We all have one. If you've worked any job long enough, you'll know what I mean. Get up, take a shower, eat, check my emails for what I'll be doing that day. It's usually just lab work, but I've acted as an inspector on occasion. 9 times in 5 years, as a matter of fact. Now there's something you should know about the US. Large swaths of it have 0 cell phone coverage. So, as part of my routine, I would take a screenshot of the email, pre-download the Google map for the area I would be heading, all in case I end up heading somewhere with no cell signal. Made the mistake of not preparing on my first inspection, and I was 3 hours late. Well, 2 days ago, when I was checking my emails, I seen that I was forwarded an email asking for an inspection on a meat processing plant in the Midwest. I was excited. It had been a while. Plus, it's one of the Big 10. Name rhymes with bison. These guys make burgers, bacon, sausage, pepperoni, chicken, pork, beef. They do it all. Should be fun. Screenshotted, map downloaded, and I head out. Now, I was glad I had downloaded the map because within 30 minutes, I had 0 service. That should have been a red flag long ago. Why is there no cell phone coverage around meat packaging or processing plants? Anyways, I pull up to the facility, put on the jacket and the hat, and walked up to the front. Only the guy in the security office didn't buzz me in. That was the first time that had ever happened, so, not knowing what to do, I just tapped my badge. He picked up a phone and made a call, all while just staring at me, a hard look on his face. After he hung up, he buzzed me in, and I was instantly met by this disheveled gentleman in a half-put-together suit. "You must be Mark," he said. "I'm so glad you could come on such short notice. We've been having trouble with the coloring on the ground chicken line, so I'm hoping you can take a look at it. Maybe take some samples back and ask your lab coats for advice." Now, before I could get in a word, he started rushing me deeper into the facility, past gleaming metal rows of all sorts of surgical stainless steel machines, people dressed head to toe in PPE working on various cuts of meat, running different operations. I was too confused to say anything. Factories don't request inspections. What was this guy talking about? Nothing was making any sense. I needed a chance to think, so I asked if I could use the restroom. Of course, sorry, where are my manners? This color issue has the higher-ups breathing down my neck, so I haven't had rest in a few days. They're just down that hall. After thanking him, I walked my way down to the bathroom and sat down in one of the stalls to think this through. After a minute or so, I remembered the email. Pulling out my phone, of course, no signal, I checked the email again. That's when I noticed. Normally Mark forwards me my schedule updates when he receives them from HR. This email was sent to Mark directly from this facility, and he must have forwarded it to me on accident. Everything was starting to make sense. Still, I had never heard of a facility asking for an inspection. So I thought it would be interesting to see what was going on. I met back up with my scraggly tour guide, and off we went. After walking for another couple of minutes, I noticed it. Or them, I suppose. Behind this translucent curtain, I could see the silhouettes of just person after person standing elbow to elbow. But it didn't seem like they were doing anything. Like they were just standing perfectly still. So I asked, "What are those people doing?" This guy looked at me with a, I don't know, quizzical look and simply said, "They're in the processing line." Then the guy's walkie-talkie goes off.
"That's not Mark. We don't know who he is. Bring him back up front, now."
Letting out a soft, "Oh." He looked back up at me, then to his right. Naturally, I looked to his right as well, and there was a collection bin for discarded animal parts. Hooves, tails, teeth, and hands. Human hands and feet. I looked back to my right and seen something that I hadn't. The people behind the curtain weren't standing elbow to elbow. They were hanging on meat hooks. To say I sprinted would be an understatement. I didn't stop for anything. I don't think people had gotten wind of the situation yet, so I met little resistance other than that security guard who I proceeded to bowl over. I made it back to my car and I was flying down the road before they knew what hit him. White-knuckling the steering wheel, eyes watering, my guts doing somersaults. I couldn't process this information. People. They were processing people into meats? I needed a drink. Hell, I needed a whole bottle. Just then, my phone started going crazy. Message after message, missed call notifications. I had signal again. Everything was from Mark. Disregard that last email. I'm taking care of that personally. Alex, I'm on the way. Call me. I need to know you're not going there. Alex, call me back. Alex, I'm calling the facility. You don't have authorization to go inside. Just then my phone pinged again. Alex, I just arrived. Me and the facility manager need you to come back. We would like to explain everything. I tossed my phone out the window and kept driving south. That brings us to today. A public library in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. So, I ask you, if the Big Ten have already gone this far, do you really trust anything they make? You remember how at the beginning of the pandemic, these companies were saying there would be massive shortages of meat and other foodstuffs, and then they suddenly figured it out? You know the term, "you're the product"? Well, I mean that, literally. You're the product.